start from the heart, which we've been doing over the last number of weeks. Do you remember back at the conditioning or learning?
It's like, it shows like where we all pass something on from generations. Sometimes it can be negative things and sometimes it can be positive things.
Checking in with yourself, you know, is this a good thing that I'm passing down the generation, or is it not so good? And if it's not so good, you can change it. You know,
exactly.
it's up to us to make the change, isn't it?
So there's a certain conditioning going on all the time in society.
Most of the learning that we're doing at this age from early childhood is basically based on conditioning and conditional learning. By awareness and knowledge, we can change that situation and make it in a way so that our children are better human beings than ourselves.
And strive to make our children, you know, better.
It's in the child's head. Might meet.
Start from the heart. So you're starting from within yourself, isn't that right? Yeah, absolutely. And it's checking in and things that possibly traumas that everybody would have experienced. None of us kind of get through life without trauma. And it's a case really of checking in with ourselves and dealing with that in some way. We reach out for help. It's so good to ask for help. We all need help at some stage in our lives.
But they're hearing these messages and they're saying, I'm the good one, I'm the compliant one.
Can you remember the flipping the lid and like, were you able to identify with that?
Kids can't deal with things like the way we can. And children's brains, like left side of the brain, it doesn't develop till like teens or 20s sometimes.
Yeah.
And like that's why they don't always understand. It's important to let the child understand that this is the sign for flipping your lid, and it's okay sometimes to flip your lid, but just like get to the root of the problem and try and solve it. Eye-to-eye contact with your child and ask them like what's the root of the problem and that you can deal with it.
Attachment. So what is attachment? What did we learn?
Connection before correction. Do you find that interesting?
That connection is very important. Very quick to respond to whatever the child has done wrong before actually knowing what the child is actually feeling right now, and to connect with the child first, so that at that time the child is able to understand us.
Very present at that very moment of connection.
And you know, from the moment they come into the world, it's all about the baby connecting with somebody. It's not always necessarily the mother. Sometimes it can't be the mother for whatever reason. But that's okay. You know, once the baby makes the connection, that bond.
But that early attachment is hugely important.
Listening is sometimes more important than talking, because you kind of get to the root of the problem or the issue or whatever the case might be.
But you can say, well, what did everyone get up to today, and like communicate with your children, because communication is very important. And being able to listen to them instead of talking over them.
Yes.
And maybe even if they're saying something that they shouldn't be saying, just listen to it till they're finished.
Yes.
And then if you feel like it wasn't right or something was wrong, then approach them about it in a reasonable way. And shouting isn't going to fix anything.
So we looked at attachment and then we looked at stress.
So you have to take a step back and like look at yourself and say, okay, well, you know, I have to deal with myself and like self-care, what we went through.
Yes.
And like you have to emotionally help yourself to be able to help your own kids.
And one thing that I have learned in this course is, you know, everybody is in the same boat. And I'm actually going to listen to the positive person, because the positive person in my head will get my family much further on in life than the negative person that's in my head. We do tend to look at the negative.
It overpower the positive, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, absolutely overpower, yeah.
Seen them for a long time. Other people came and came back again and again, and then they started thinking, what just brings back these level of people against them?
Absolutely.
So the self-care, yeah, really did help me with my own kids. I found lately, like since I started doing it, I find it just way easier.
Great.
If I'm not in a good place, how can I expect them to be like, okay, we'll go play, have a bit of fun this evening, and leave mommy kind of to get our lunches done, or those little things.
Yes.
So then I suppose I started to take more time for myself, even during the day, if it's,
Good.
you know, clean the house while they're gone, and then sit down for half an hour, have a cup of coffee,
Good.
just relax. I'm obviously going to be happier and feel happier in myself. I kind of know, okay, I need my own time, I go do my thing and then come back
Yeah.
and be in better form.
Witnessing war, trauma, accidents, all of that. And they said, what brings all these people back? So they looked at the people who had adversity, and if you
I'm
had
able
more
to
or more.
see a lot of people and see myself in a lot of people and see like how everybody is doing there. And so there's a lot of learning that I have made here, plus a lot of friends and the whole, the sense of community is
Yes.
really adding to my whole experience that I have. It's wonderful.
Because we had adversity. The truth is no. Because first of all, there's our own natural disposition that all of us have in varying degrees.
Mentally being present and being aware of the situation of not only your mind but your heart. Sometimes we don't know how to repair the damage that we have done. Sometimes we don't even realize that we have made any kind of
Yes.
damage.
Nobody is perfect. You know, we all kind of can lose our temper because of one reason or another, whether it be work, bills, shopping, whatever the case may be. The house could be a mess and it could be getting unhappy. So it would be very easy for us to lose it if a child comes in whinging, or if they're starting to fight, or if they turn the Lego box upside down. It would be very easy to go, no, whatever. So that's the rupture. But it's saying, you know, I'm really sorry, I shouldn't have lashed out, I shouldn't have reacted, isn't it? And that's the repair.
We actually repeat things over and over and over again. You know, there's a routine to everything, and you have to cope with all those things. And in the middle of it, you're just lost somewhere.
Yes.
So, and your connection with your heart is lost.
Yes. Yes.
So when you are actually there and you're aware and you're mindful of the situation and you're being a mindful parent and you're being positive, and that's when you're able to repair the ruptures that you do every day to the child. Like we were not, our parents were not aware of these kind of things.
No.
And that's why we can't blame them, because they were not even aware that what they were doing. But now we are.
We
so
are.
we have a chance. We have a chance to make better individuals
For the future, yes, going forward, absolutely.
They're all kids that are stress-free. But they go to school, they come home, Mammy, what's wrong? Such one wouldn't talk to me today. Right? Do you get that?
Your heart and your mind can conflict, but the heart always wins.
Yeah.
So start from the heart is such a good name, isn't it, for this particular course, because the heart always wins.
Yeah.
Wonderful, thanks.